lights bleeding through the blinds, red and blue, a twisted sign. My blood drips slow, a steady beat. Another night, another defeat. Sirens wail, then fade away. Gonna be a long, long day. Silence falls, a heavy shroud. No more chase, no more crowd. Just a whisper of the breeze. This quiet brings me to my knees. Yeah, this quiet brings me to my knees. Beneath my shoe, every shadow feels brand new. Heartbeat thumping in my ear. Is that a footstep? Do I hear whispers in the lonely air? Danger lurks everywhere. Silence falls, a heavy shroud. Chase, no more crowd. Just a whisper of the breeze. This quiet brings me to my knees. Yeah, this quiet brings me He keeps that jar on the shelf, penny jar but built for sin. $1 folded for each man he put in the ground bad wind. The bourbon burns his throat, the room stays small and mean. He shakes that glass like a prayer for the faces in between. 10 bills, 20 bills, names start slipping thin. He stares down at the stack, can't call one back again. More bills than memories, more bills than memories. He counts and counts in the dark. More bills than memories, than memories. There's a scar by his left eye from a knife in Tulsa rain. A wedding ring in a matchbox, a tooth, a watch, a name. But tonight the jar looks heavy, like it knows what he's done. He lifts it to the lamplight, and the count comes undone. He says, "Who was that one?" Then another slips away. The dollars keep their order, but the dead won't stay. More bills and memories, more bills and memories. He counts and counts in the dark. More bills and memories, and memories. He pours one more finger, watches the ice break slow. All that blood for a ledger, and the ledger won't show. So he lays the jar down easy, like a gun he cannot use. Whispers to the table, there's nothing left to lose. More bills than memories, more bills than memories. He counts and counts in the dark. More bills than memories, more bills than memories, than memories.
The block held still at dawn. Curtains twitch then freeze. Old men by the stoop, kids on cracked up knees. They said he'd circle back with gold and better days. But 20 years can rot even a king's parade. Mercy Street was quiet, then the engine came slow. Black paint on the curb, like a bruise in the glow. No horns, no cheers, just fear passing hand to hand. Every door stayed shut while we watched that van. He came home in a coffin, home in a coffin. Mercy Street, hear that warning? Home in a coffin. One last message, one last message. He came home in a coffin, and the whole block listened. The littered silver marks from somewhere far away. A suit laid flat and neat, no face for us to say. The driver won't look up, just slides a sealed note out. All the old heads lean in, but nobody talks loud. It read, I built your fear long before I left. I fed the knives you hide, and I named the theft. Then the paper shook in my uncle's hand. He said that man came back, but not the way we planned. He came home in a coffin, home in a coffin. Mercy Street, hear that warning? Home in a coffin. One last message, one last message. He came home in a coffin, and the whole block listened. Now the bench outside the store has a different tone. Mothers pull their sons in when the crows roll home. 'Cause a king can lose his crown and still drag hell behind. When the past rides back, it don't come polite. He came home in a coffin, home in a coffin. Mercy Street, hear that warning? Home in a coffin. One last message, one last message. He came home in a coffin, and the whole block listened. Behind that whiskey bar, 3 stones sit bare. No names, no dates, just cold night air. The barkeep wipes the glass like he's erasing sin. Keeps his eyes on the floor when strangers walk in. He pours one shot for the ones gone down. Never says their names, never turns around. 3 unmarked graves under that bar. 3 unmarked graves. He knows who you are. 3 unmarked graves and a secret page. 30 years still ain't washed away. 30 years ago, when the rain hit hard, the boss came in quiet with mud on his boots and scars. Said we need a hole where the fire won't show. And the bartender drove with his headlights low. He saw those 3 men with the wrong damn truth. He saw them look back like they knew the proof. He heard the shovel back through clay. He heard the boss say, bury it away. 3 unmarked graves under that bar. 3 unmarked graves. He knows who you are. 3 paid. 30 years still ain't washed away. Now the boss is dead, or so folks say, but the barkeep wakes at the same old hour of day. When the floorboards groan and the bottles clink, he swears he hears 3 voices from beneath the sink. 3 unmarked graves under that bar. 3 unmarked graves. He knows who you are. 3 unmarked graves and a secret page. 30 years still ain't washed away. 3 unmarked graves keep the whole town quiet. 3 unmarked graves ain't ever gonna lie. 3 unmarked graves under that moon, and the barkeep drinks for the dead too soon. Carve my name in barroom wood, left bad men coughing on the floor. I crossed more graves than most men do, still came back hungry for more. The sheriff lost me in the pines, the butcher's boys, the churchyard crew. I outran every loaded grudge, then limped home mean and blue. Now the house is breathing slow, tin roof ticking in the dark. I got 1 round in my coat and a tremor in my heart. 1 bullet left, 1 man to blame. 1 bullet left, he knows my name. I kept chasing ghosts, kept calling that justice. 1 bullet left, and it's in the glass. Boots by the door split at the seam, had brim bent from harder days. A whiskey ring on the kitchen table, my hands like dry old clay. I faced down kings and cheating rooms and left my prayers in muddy streets. But that mirror by the basin keeps on staring back at me. Same cut jaw, same tight eyes, same scar where the lie first grew. Every man I buried out there had a little piece of me in him too. 1 bullet left, 1 man to blame. 1 bullet left, and he knows my name. I kept chasing ghosts, kept calling that justice. 1 bullet left,
stranger with a bigger gun. But the one who stole my sleep at night was the one I raised myself to run. So I load my shame with shaking hands, and the room goes thin and still. If I pull this trigger, I don't know if I'm dying or standing still. One bullet left, one man to blame. One bullet left, and he knows my name. I kept chasing ghosts, kept calling that justice. One bullet left, and it's in the glass.
He came down Mercy Street, jacket thin as me, cash in his sock, and a grin full of steam. He knew the pawn shop man, the barber, the dice, the break. He said, I need a lane, and they told him take. He took what he could, took more than he should. Every hand he shook felt like a nail in wood. He wanted respect, wanted his name on tongues, wanted doors to swing when he said he was coming. Now the block got quiet when he walked by. Dreams got loud in the thief's black eye. He kept two vows, money and pride. And Mercy Street watched as the good men died. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he owned every key. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, but nobody left with me. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he got what he chased. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, now he can't buy one face. 20 years later, same steps, different suit, same front stoop glare, same phone, same boots. Now he owns the doors, the laundromat, the bar, the gold chain names in the parked up cars. But every room he enters feels already gone, 'cause the ones who laugh with him ain't staying long. He buried Vic by the river, Mellow by the tracks, took a suit to raise wake and came home right back. His mother won't call, she just leaves the screen dark, and every win he counts comes with a missing part. Now the block got quiet when he walked by. Dreams got loud in the thief's black eye. He kept two vows, money and pride. And Mercy Street watched as the good men died. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he owned every key. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, but nobody left with me. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he got what he chased. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, now he can't buy
face. He stands at the corner, hands in his coat, 30 great winners in one tight throat. All that respect leans cold on the wall. He hears old names in the alley call. If he could trade it, if he could turn one locked up door for one friend return. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he owned every key. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, but nobody left with me. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, he got what he chased. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, now he can't buy one face. Mercy Street, Mercy Street, all that he kept. Mercy Street was the weight of the dead. Midnight comes, he walks in, same black coat, same quiet grin. Sits at the end of my bar like he's known every scar. 19 shots, never pays, just stares through the smoking haze. Boys all ask what's his name, I tell them hell, I don't know. Same. I watch him sip that amber light. Never drunk, never hard to find. Every clock hand drags and bends like it's scared of where he's been. Every dead man pays. Every dead man pays for the whiskey he drank at the end of the day. Every dead man pays. Every dead man pays. And I feel that cold hand on the cash in my tray. He says, boss, you keep good stock, then taps one nail on the glass top. His eyes look old as rain, like they know my real first name. I said, friend, you mind that tab? You've been running up quite a stack. He just smiled at the mirror behind, said you'll get yours in due time. Then the room went thin and still. Even my old dog wouldn't thrill. He leaned close, voice like dirt, said I don't forget what death owes first. Every dead man pays. Every dead man pays for the whiskey he drank at the end of the day. Every dead man pays. Every dead man pays. I feel that cold hand on the cash in my tray. I reached for the drawer slow. He said, boss, you already know. Then the mirror flashed white and the stool sat empty in the light. No shoes on the floor, no name to call, just a wet ring where he stood, all falling on the bar where his glass had been. Was a coin with my face in. Every dead man pays. Every dead man pays for the whiskey he drank church bells chime for rain.
Dug every grave with a steady hand, buried every man who crossed his stand. Old boss came back for one last drink. He set that glass down and didn't blink. Sweated on the scarred pine, two men breathing one last line. He tipped that amber like a prayer, then left the silence hanging there. Next coffin, baby, next coffin, next coffin, baby, next coffin. Name carved in pine by morning light. He said nothing and killed the night. The old boss laughed with a dry, thin throat. Smoke in the room and a moth-eaten cold. The undertaker stared at the yellow flame like he'd seen that face on a burial name. His thumb on the rim, his jaw said hard. He knew that mercy left this yard. The clock kept tapping like a nail. One more heartbeat, one more tale. The old boss reached for the bottle slow, and both men watched that shadow grow. Next coffin, baby, next coffin, next coffin, baby, next coffin. Name carved in pine by morning light. He said nothing and killed the night. Know the sound of a shovel blade on frozen ground. No preacher coming, no hymns to sing, just a black top hat and a wedding ring. Next coffin, baby, next coffin, next coffin, baby, next coffin. Name carved in pine by morning light. He said nothing
name carved in pine under that moon. Two brothers on the block, same name and different skin. Shared one pair of sneakers, shared every win. Back to back on the corner, side by side in the rain. One held the whole hood down, one learned to hide the pain. They split a cash-soaked summer, then the silence got loud. A new watch on one wrist, a new fear in the crowd. Old love turned to ledger, old vows turned thin. Now every look meant danger, and the night was caving in. Rain on the windshield, blood in the veins. One man rides with a gun, one man rides with shame. Headlights cutting deeper through the black and the white. A secret in his jacket and no room left to lie. One brother sees sunrise, one brother sees dawn, one brother sees sunrise. Then he's gone, gone, gone. Rainy midnight road, which one gets to live? Rainy midnight road, which one can forgive? He kept it in his pocket like a stone in his chest. Proof of who took the money, proof of who still left. The driver kept talking like the world was still kind, but the brother with the gun had the end on his mind. Then the secret finally shook loose with the tremble and a plea. Not the thief in the mirror, but the brother could see a name, a date, a betrayal written plain in the dark. Now the road kept on running and the gun turned to a spark. Rain on the windshield, blood in the veins. One man rides with a gun, one man rides with shame. Headlights cutting deeper through the black and the white. A secret in his jacket and no room left to lie. One brother sees sunrise, one brother sees dawn, one brother sees sunrise. Then he's gone, gone, gone. Rainy midnight road, which one gets to live? Rainy midnight road, which one can forgive? Pull over, pull over, don't make me say it twice. We was blood, we was brothers, now we're gambling with life. A hand on the wheel, a hand on the past. One breath, one decision, and the truth came fast. One brother sees sunrise, one brother sees dawn, one brother sees sunrise. Then he's gone, gone, gone. Rainy midnight road, the blood won't wash clean. Rainy midnight road, only one makes it through the screen.
Sunrise creeping through the pain, another day, another pain. Empty bottle on the floor, he ain't here no more. Silver gleaming in the light, a dirty deed in dead of night. One chair, one glass, one loaded gun. Nowhere left for a traitor to run. Keeper, what a joke. His promises all turned to smoke. Blood on his hands, a heavy price. No way to make it twice. Shadows whispering his name, fueling up the burning flame. One chair, one glass, one loaded gun. Nowhere left for a traitor to run. He took the stool by mine, like he owned the room. Black coat, clean cuts, grave dirt on his shoes. He said, "Are you still breathing?" I said, "Barely, pal." He tipped that amber glass and stared me down a while. I got scars like road maps, some from lead, some from lies. Counted out my partners, watched them fold one by one. Cell doors, courtrooms, I wore them like a crown. But his empty shovel grin kept pulling me around. He never touched his drink, just watched mine go low. Said, "Everybody meets me sooner than they know. Death at the bar, death at the bar. Quiet as smoke, right where you are.
my scars. The jukebox was coughing a busted summer tune. A waitress wiped the counter like she knew what to do. I laughed at my hands, how they shook in the glass. Told him I beat the grave once. He said you didn't pass. He never touched his drink, just watch mine go low. Said everybody meets me sooner than they know. Death at the bar, death at the bar, quiet as smoke right where you are. Death at the bar, death at the bar. He knows my name and he knows my scars. I saw my dead men in the mirror behind. The one I betrayed, the one I left behind. Then his hand on my shoulder, light as falling ash. He said, you can leave now, or you can leave me last. Death at the bar, death at the bar, quiet as smoke right where you are. Death at the bar, death at the bar. I raised my glass and the room went dark.
Sun's not up yet. We met off Pier 7 by a dark door under a busted fan. 4 briefcases, 1 folding table, 5 men acting like this was a plan. The forklift sat dead, pallets stacked like half-built coffee. The boss kept 2 fingers on the ledger, like numbers could make us brothers. Cash hit the plywood, flat, hard, clean, white cups, cheap cologne, and a joke nobody meant. Then somebody drew, then the room went tight. By dawn there'd be one of us left to explain that room to the light. Above the beams a red exit buzz, like it knew how bad this was. All that talk about trust gone, the second fingers crossed the trigger. Nobody calling my name, nobody coming in, just boots grinding gravel and the whole deal caving in. Still here, still breathing, that's the joke they missed. Still here, still breathing, with a hole through my wrist. I came for the money, came for the night. Now I'm standing in the dark with whiskey on my breath, thank God. Still here, still breathing, like that means I got out clean. Blood on the floor and a key ring burning in my fist. The briefcase ripped open, 20 spread out in the grease. One man slid into the chain link, one went down through the glass. One tried to crawl for the office door, caught around in the back. The boss lost his words in a close range shot. His watch kept ticking on. The kid by the forklift kept saying no, till even that was gone. The warehouse held the echo like it wanted names to stay. I walked past the forklift aisle with my shoes sticking to the stain. Past the deadbolt, past the trucks, past the oil and busted glass. I can hear my own boots drag, like I'm the last thing left in that. No one here to cover, no one here to blame. Just a stack of empty envelopes and a lighter with no flame. Still here, still breathing, that's the joke they missed. Still here, still breathing, with a hole through my wrist. I came for the money, came for the nod. Now I'm standing in the dark with whiskey on my breath, thank God. Still here, still breathing, like that means I got out clean. I used to think the smarter play was keep your hands out of the dirt. But I watched that whole room turn on a dime and learned what money's worth. Did they send me? Did they sell me? Or did I walk in blind? Every handshake felt like a fuse. Every grin was a raised knife. Still here, still breathing, that's the joke they miss. Still here, still breathing, with the sirens cutting in. Sun was just starting when I stepped out through the smoke. 4 men brought money to the dock. Only one man left to choke. Still here, still breathing, but I don't feel clean. Still here, still breathing, just the last one left to see. Still here, still breathing, sun's not up yet, and dead men never renegotiate. The sun's not up yet, I'm in the back seat, hands on my knees. Boss at the wheel, jaw set hard. He says, you really did this to me. Shovel in the trunk, rattling every turn. We passed the last gas station sign and watch the county burn. He cracks one cigarette, passes it back with 2 fingers, says you get one smoke, one question, then you start digging under that moon.
I keep my eyes on the dash, on the crack in the vinyl seam. He says, who told you to run your mouth? Who sold the room by name? Past the last exit, past the fenced-in lots, blue from the dash light, catching on the ash she drops. No cops out here, no one to call, just the gravel under us and the cold coming on. One smoke, one question, then the hole gets made. One smoke, one question, before the dirt gets thrown our way. I took the call, took the cash, took the line, I swore I knew. One smoke, one question, then he said, start digging, trade a move. He wore a perfect black suit, sharp and clean, the kind you wear to bury a friend or a secret. Polished shoes gleam, reflecting the dash, expensive whiskey on his breath, a faint sweet reek. He told me traders always talk too much right up until they don't. Best thing you can do right now is answer me or choke. We stop where the road thins out, by the dead oak, by the ditch. He hands me the shovel by the blade, like he's done this exact same switch. I can hear the engine idling, I can hear my boots hit stone. He says, say the name that burned us out, and you can go down alone. I take the cigarette, hand shaking in the wind. He watches me like he already knows how this ends and where it begins. Past the last exit, past the fence and weeds, nothing but the dashboard glow and his cuff wrapped round his sleeve. No mercy here, no more blood, just the moon on the raw black dirt and the first cut in the dust. One smoke, one question, then the hole gets made. One smoke, one question, before the dirt gets thrown our way. I took the call, took the cash, took the line, I swore I knew. One smoke, one question, then he said, start digging, trade a move. He stood there with his coat half zipped, like this was business, not blood. Said you don't get to keep a seat when you flip on the ones you loved. The embers shook, the shovel scraped, the night went quiet as a room. He asked, was it worth it? I said nothing, just stared at that cold midnight moon. One smoke, one question, then the hole gets made. One smoke, one question, before the dirt gets thrown our way. I took the call, took the cash, and the truth came out too late. One smoke, one question, then I dug my own mistake. One smoke, one question, under that hard white moon. He said, start digging, trader, and I started digging soon.